Greetings, brothers and sisters. Hello and welcome back to Eva's House of Spirit. For those of you who are new to this channel, I am Eva, and today I want to share an interesting experience, something really cool that happened to me. Okay, well, I found a little plastic anteater, a little toy anteater at work, and he was nowhere near the toy section, which was really kind of interesting to me. He was way up high on a shelf in the bath section, and next to him was a little pile of used children's Christmas-themed press-on nails. Okay, most people would probably see this and just be like, what the fuck? And they would just walk away or clean things up and just throw them away or something like that. But to me, this was a profound discovery. You know, the chaot in me was like, this is synchronicity. This means something. So how I interpreted finding that little plastic anteater is that I saw it as the spirit of anteater had approached me. And before I go on and explain a little more about this, that was the immediate thing that struck me, that the spirit of anteater had approached me. So granted, I took the little anteater, put him in my pocket, took the little Christmas nails, tossed them, and just went about my day until I came home. And then I looked up, you know, on my phone, you know, what is the deal with anteater as a totem or as a spirit, you know, animal? What are the lessons of anteater? Because, yeah, it's great and all that anteater came to me, I just don't know much about anteater. Two of the main lessons of anteater are that, I remember one of them was that anteater is really good at sniffing out trouble before it is seen, sort of, or recognizing trouble before it is apparent. And then the other main sort of lesson or association of anteater is that anteater is good at sort of rooting out solutions to problems or issues, you know, finding ways, you know, to fix things when you're just like, oh my god, what do I do? You know, anteater will root out the solution. Those are the two main lessons of the anteater. But now that you know that, the one that I spoke about sort of sensing or sniffing out trouble before it is apparent, that sort of gave me the sense of anteater is coming to me and saying, you know, I will protect you, I will, you know, defend you if you choose to work with me. But the little pile of children's nails laying next to the anteater, while nails can be seen as weapons, the fact that there were children's nails, press-on nails, and the fact that they were Christmas themed, kind of, it gave me the sense in hindsight that I am not in any kind of immediate danger, you know, like the anteater is not telling me, oh my god, you're in a really bad situation and I'm here to defend you. It wasn't like that. It was just like, hey, I'll look out for you if you're up for that. That's sort of the feeling I got. And also why the anteater came to me in the bath aisle, I felt that had some significance there as well. Because I've always associated the bathroom as being a place of offering. Maybe because I often burn candles in my bathtub, and I see when water goes down the drain, it's seen as like things being carried away from this place to the other world, you know, from this physical reality to the other world. Also, water is intuitive, it is emotional, And so you have the sense of an offering place, and you have the sense of intuition and emotional, sensitivity. And also water washes away sorrows, it cleanses things, it nurtures, it heals. So all these things combined, it kind of felt to me like Anteater was saying, hey, I'm inviting you to form an intuitive bond with me, to form an emotional bond with me. I'm inviting you to work with me, maybe make some offerings, make some connections, let's work together, and I can show you the way, And it's funny that I got all of this from a little plastic anteater hanging out on a shelf next to some used press-on nails. But the reason why I'm making this video is not just to share this interesting story with you, but I want to remind you all, signs, synchronicities are always around you. They're there, but you have to be open to seeing them. If you're very much in a very, if you're often very much in a mundane sort of mindset, if you're, sorry, my hair is doing something strange. If you are very into just what's going on in your mundane reality, and you sort of forget the spiritual side of life, it's easy to not notice things. Most people, like I said before, most people would see an anteater toy on a shelf next to some press-on nails, and they would just scoop them up, throw them away, or ignore them and just be like, oh, somebody left this here. But I saw so much deeper into that, Symbolism really matters, and I just want to remind everyone, be open. Don't think that, I'm not saying that every single thing that happens is going to be a synchronicity. You will recognize, though, I believe, you will recognize when certain things are profound. I have found random, silly, weird things, and I've just been like, yeah, that's not really a synchronicity. But, in this case, intuitively, it felt profound. And I think you will feel when it's something that is significant, when you receive a sign, when something happens, you will recognize that. But I do urge you all, be open to receiving signs, communications from the other side, because you will if you're open to them. It's not just watching for them and waiting for them, but I think being open also entails just the faith, knowing that when the other side has something to tell you, it will tell you, and it will tell you in a way that you will recognize it, you will feel it, And you have to trust yourself too. You really have to trust that inner knowing that you get, A lot of people do question when they have feelings about things, or when they think they've received it. Some people think they've received a synchronicity, but they're like, oh, but I'm not sure, maybe, I don't know. Or if they even if it's not a synchronicity, they'll have a feeling or a leaning, or however their psychic sensitivities should present themselves, they'll have that pull there. But they will question, they will doubt, they'll be like, oh, I bet you this is wrong, or whatever. You just have to trust. You will learn in working with your senses, because everybody's psychic senses operate a little differently from those of others. You will recognize when you are sensing something, feeling something, knowing something, however it comes to you, whether it's through clairaudience, hearing a voice telling you something, or whether it's, clairvoyance, seeing something, in your mind's eye, or getting a flash of whatever, or whether it's just an intuitive gut feeling, or just a knowing, just a solid knowing, or whatever it happens to be. You just have to come to trust and recognize when you're having something like that, first of all. But yeah, be open to synchronicities. And I want to show you Anteater. Here he is. Isn't he awesome? This is the little plastic toy that symbolically portrayed to me, conveyed to me, that Anteater, as a totem, as a spirit animal, was stepping forward to say, hey, I will work with you, you know? And I have a video here on my channel that regards using little plastic animals like this as protectorates, and I'm going to have that linked in the description of this video, because I think some of you who may not have seen that video, you might be interested in checking that out. So I do want to mention that. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. And I want to hear from you all. Have you ever received like any kind of an interesting synchronicity? That most people maybe would just be like, what the hell? But it was like something that meant something to you, and it was just really profound. There are other things, for example, that have happened to me. There was one time in my life, I remember I was very, very, I don't know if depressed is the right word, because I don't know if I was actually depressed, because it's not like I was clinically diagnosed, but I was not very happy. And I had a lot of issues and problems going on. But I was walking down the street one day, and I found this little oval-shaped little piece of rubber. It was kind of like, I want to say it was like either, I don't know if it was like a silver or if it was like an off-white that had kind of like faded from dirt or whatever it was. And in the middle of it just said the word comfort. It was just black letters in this little oval. It was just a little rubber disc. And it was just laying in the middle of the sidewalk, and all it said was comfort. And I picked it up, and I recognized it at the time as my spirits, guardians, guides, ancestors, what have you. You know, my spirits, my, you know, helpful dead, and all those on the other side that kind of back me, that walk with me through my life. We all have them. We all do. At the time, I felt that that was a message from them saying, like, we are here to comfort you, to be with you through these hard times. That's another example of something I've experienced. And it's not always found objects, though. I don't want you to think it's always found things. Sometimes it's a happening, a synchronistic happening. Or sometimes it'll be something that just keeps coming up. A word, a phrase, a number, a color, something that keeps coming up. And everything in the world has a symbolism to it or associated with it. It's good to familiarize, I can't talk. It's good to familiarize yourself with symbolism in general, you know. For me, I mean, I don't think I was always as good as I am now with interpreting what things mean, but I don't know, I guess somehow over the years I just sort of thinking about, like, I started thinking when, let's say an object presents itself, for example, this orange lighter. If I was to look at it, I would be like, lighter, associated with fire. Fire is the south, orange, attraction. And then I would put together the color orange of the lighter and the fire, what fire means. So fire, I often associate fire with will, drive, passion, aggression. Orange is an attractor color in my view. So I would put that together and be like, this is a symbol of something desired very much, you know, sought after very much. It's symbolic of that sort of iron will that drives us to go after the things in our lives that we want most, you know, the things that will push us to be further, greater, more. You know, that's for example, that's an example of how I would interpret something like this, you know. And there are positive and negative ways of deciphering, you know, like everything has a positive association and negative association, but I feel that you will feel when looking at synchronistic signs, you will feel when they are conveying to you something positive or something not positive. You will just know it. Okay? So, yeah, just trust yourself and let me know. Have you had any kind of interesting synchronistic signs come your way? And with that, I'm going to wish you blessed be an Ashe. You have an awesome night. And until next time, until our next exchange, you stay awesome too. And bye-bye for now.